Alright everybody, now this video here is going to be about how to stop paying utility bills, or how to live without having utility bills. And basically that means being off-grid. Now in order to have an off-grid cabin, first you need to start out with some land. And what I did was I saved money for the last 4 or 5 years. I sold some of my silver and I got about 3.8 acres up here in the Appalachian Mountains. So that's one of the first things. A lot of people inherit land from family. You could also rent a small piece of land to put this out somewhere in the country or somewhere, farmers have lots of land. They'd be willing to, let you use some of their land. So that's the first thing that you're going to need. And the second thing you're going to need is a tiny house. Now the reason why I say a tiny house is because larger homes are very, very inefficient. In order to have a large home, you basically either have to fork up $150,000 or you have to be a slave to debt for the rest of your life. And most of the time, it's not just your life. You then pass that on to your children, and then your children are in debt. This is another option. This isn't for everybody. Not everybody would be able to do this. People have different standards. For me, I think it'd be more important to be on my own and breaking the chains of bondage from Walmart and corporatism. So that's what's important to me. And if you've ever been kicked out of an apartment, or you had to live with your family or sleep on the couch, or ever been homeless, or if you're just basically tired of paying your utility bills, you can do something like this. This could also be a bug out cabin, just somewhere to go to on the weekends, or you can live in it full time. Right now I don't have thousands of dollars to have this thing set up immediately. Otherwise we would be living in this full time. Now this cabin here is 12 feet by 20 feet. It's got a 4-foot porch on it. It's got a door, 4 windows. It didn't come insulated or have flooring or anything like that, but you can do that very, very cheaply. Now, ultimately, you would need some solar panels. Solar panels are getting very cheap every day. They're getting cheaper and cheaper and cheaper. And the average price right now that you can pay for a solar panel, the going price is about $75 or 75 cents per watt. And there will be 2 large solar panels on here that will be more than enough to power the whole cabin for my laptop, my refrigerator, what other kinds of toys, and my TV and everything else. And the way that you break the chains of paying utility bills is you don't connect your house to the electric line, the electricity up by the road. When you do that, you have to be completely up to code. Your building is becoming a residence. Off-grid, it's still considered to be a shed. I've talked to people about, they say this is not a home because it doesn't have somewhere to poop, somewhere to shower, somewhere to eat, and somewhere to sleep and all that stuff. But most of the time they're living in an apartment that's just a little bit bigger than this. So this is it. Stop paying your utility bills. The way that we're heating it right now, you can use a wood-burning stove. We're actually using propane. Here's the propane tank right here on the side. And we just ran the line up into the house. And you can basically use RV things. You can scrap an RV, and you can use... Most of the stuff for an RV is powered off of propane. You can have a propane heater, propane shower, propane stove, propane refrigerator. Almost any appliance can be run off of propane. And propane is not self-sufficient, but it can put you off-grid until you can become self-sufficient with a solar panels or a windmill, wind turbine. Now the propane that's in here is hooked up to a gas propane heater, and that heats more than enough for this small cabin right here. And that same propane tank is going to heat the stove, and it's also going to heat the shower. For about $100, $130, you can get a propane shower heater that also has adjustments where you can adjust the heat, adjust the flow, and they come with a little handle with a shower head on it, and all you got to do is plug the propane into it and plug in a water source. Now with water, the water is going to be coming from a well right here. Wells are pretty expensive to have put in. It's normally about $9 a foot? I think it was $9 a foot was what I was quoted. And they normally have to go down about between 200 and 400 feet to have a well that has pressure. If you just go down any lower than that, there's a possibility water can be contaminated and you won't have too much pressure. You would actually need a pump, or you would need some type of a solar panel to power an electric pump to pump the water up. If you go down deep enough, you can have enough pressure to run water into your shower or into your kitchen or any of that. So this is one way that you guys can start to live without paying utility bills. It is an off-grid cabin. We're not hooked up to electricity. We're not hooked up to the system. This is easy to pay off. You're not a slave to debt for the rest of your life. Something like this can cost anywhere. If you're going to build it yourself, you can get the materials for around $1,500 to $3,000. Or if you wanted somebody else to build it and bring it out there, you're looking around maybe $4,000 to $5,000 for something like that. And they've got smaller ones for about $3,000. Now, ideally, it'd be nice to have one with a bunk up above, so that would conserve space a little bit more. But I got a really good deal on this, and I like this one, and we could always upgrade and put another one right over there. So this is one way you can live without paying utility bills, off-grid, off of the system, not hooked up to city sewer, city water, city electricity. And if you're wondering about sewage and water lines, your shower runs off of propane, which heats it like that, and the water comes out of the ground. And you can use a composting toilet. They have many different varieties. They have some that are very, very expensive, all the way down to ones that are basically just a wood frame with a bucket in the middle. And if you guys don't know anything about compost toilets or human compost, humanure, I will put a link below. There's really good information out there about that. A lot of people don't want to worry about it. They just want to go and not have to see it again. But at least it makes you aware of where everything's going. You know, for thousands of years, you know, we were a part of nature. Now we're disconnected from it. You know, everything that we take from nature gets thrown away. It doesn't go back to nature. So this is one way for us to live a more natural life, become more self-sufficient, and start to stop paying utility bills and be a slave to the system. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. This is the tiny house, the off-grid living, and we've got propane hooked up, which will power your shower, your stove, your heater, your refrigerator, and just about any other appliance that you would want to hook up to it. And ultimately, to become self-sufficient, you would need solar panels, a wind turbine, and basically stop paying for propane. Now, the propane, you're looking at maybe anywhere from $20 to $50 a week in propane to heat everything, depending on how much you use, depending on how big your building is, and how many appliances you plug into it. So this is it. This is one way you can learn to live without paying utility bills. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Please like and subscribe. Go ahead and leave me a comment below, and thanks for watching.